today. From Lumen Field in Seattle, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
2 teams more than ready to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And they'll be led out by the second overall pick from BYU, now in his 2nd season, Zach Wilson.
And we all know the scouting report on him. He can attack the field at all levels with a very strong arm and make big-time plays off schedule. We also see him playing with confidence and swagger. We see a guy who knows how to lead a team, who knows how to compete, and wants to be great every time he hits the field.
Quickly to the air is Wilson. Flushed it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early 2nd down and long. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down. Boy, how about this to start a ball game? That's twice in a row now, Charles, that they get to it.
And how often do we talk about offenses that operate off of a script to begin games? Feels like this defense had their script together on this one, and their script said put the quarterback down and do it fast.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now Wilson. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough. Not a productive opening drive, 3 and out, and more struggles for a team really that hasn't won a game in a long time.
It can be really discouraging for everyone else on the team, especially the guys on the other side of the ball that have to trot out there and see a little more futility in this losing streak. So I know coaches who look at these situations and say to themselves, let's be aggressive, let's go for it right here and try and turn our fortune around.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the one being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Just like... that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Now Gino on first down. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. It doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Second down and goal. Smith caught on the slant. Touchdown, Seahawks. Noah Fant, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wilson. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. For the moment, they're on top of their division, projected to host a wild card game in the first weekend, but nothing is set in stone. There's a lot of shuffling that can still go on here. They haven't even clinched a playoff berth.
A lot goes into that one word you use, doesn't it? But you're exactly right, because nothing's clinched. So that means another win is necessary, being able to play to the best of their abilities, because they can go from where they are right now to right out of the playoff race. If things go in the wrong direction for them, they've got to take care of business.
These two teams, you may recall, they didn't play each other till late in the year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 13. And it was the visiting Seahawks who were victorious in that one. So they now look for the sweep here back home in Seattle. Smith's throw into the hands of Fan. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Walker now on 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Smith. That's DK Metcalf running the slant. He's got it. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 12-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. And some room to maneuver. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Oh, and an injured member of the offense there. It's the quarterback, Zach Wilson, in some distress. This is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now it's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Now it's Lockett. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field.
And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
But from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Smith. That's caught over the middle by Fant.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Smith. Throw out wide to Walker. And some room to roam now. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Straight ahead, Walker. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So it's all down to this, Week 18 on the NFL schedule. And that means that once we sort things out, we'll all be set for our second ever Super Wild Card weekend, which I think everyone agrees was a runaway success last year.
We got 2 games coming up on Saturday, 3 more on Sunday, and then we'll put a bow on it Monday night.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up second down. Wilson. Robinson's got it. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 1 yard to go on third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll try and run for this with Akers.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll go again here with Akers. Hang on here. We got an injury. And, yeah, it's Cooper Kupp who's going to receive some attention following that last play. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. Here's a run with Akers on second down.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Sliding out of the pocket, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Flying in to pick up that sack, Jordan Brooks. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. Returnable for Lockett.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
And we will get another look at Seattle's offense.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Smith.
He completes this to Walker.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He's got his tight end fan. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
From the gun, it's Walker.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now Gino.
And this one's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. From the gun on third down, Smith trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the Rams will take over possession here up at the 44. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here hauled in by Cup. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again on second down. Wilson.
That's out to the flat for Akers.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson gets this into the hands of the tight end Higbee. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Escaping the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Connecting with Cup here on the out route. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 46. Gay's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brent.
Only 2 quarters of football left in the regular season. Everybody's excited to get to the playoffs. So excited that we're just going to skip right over halftime and get back to the action. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. Third quarter begins with a run by Walker.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 63 yards. And the Seahawks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, then you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season, as this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wilson. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast into the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Off of play action, here's Smith. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Setting up the screen here, this is Walker. Touchdown! Kenneth Walker. He scored on the ground and through the air, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Now Myers for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it was Kenneth Walker who finished things off with a touchdown catch.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. We haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, LA.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
Boye Mafe got through the line like a knife through butter. He buries him for a loss.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They run it again with Williams.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back.
57's the mic. Watch 57. I'm going back.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Riley Dixon now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now.
59 yards on the ground for him so far.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Calling no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Play action. It's Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Robinson. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And the ball is knocked out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They run again with Walker. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On the counter, it's Walker. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. But remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. It could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Al Woods able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. This offense so far on third down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Wilson.
They'll set up the screen here to Akers.
And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And able to find Higbee. It's complete.
And he is going to have the Rams first down as they pick up a big chunk of yards to boot. 18 of them.
Ready? 57. No chance. 57 the mic. 57 the mic. And keep it.
Here's Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
After the sack on first down, Wilson. That'll be caught by Cup.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Got a man. It's Higbee complete.
And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Now it's Wilson.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Wilson. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
Uchenna Nwosu picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Out of the gun, Smith. This is the tight end fan. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. The carry here for the big tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 110 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you up.
And they take a knee.
Got it. Ready? Check by 45. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, they earn one final victory and finish the regular season at 13-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for L.A., they will bottom out as the loss gives them a finishing mark of just 2-15. And you have to figure that this is a team that will look a whole lot different come training camp next July. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.